Hi, thanks for joining us today. My name is Teresa Bruni, and I am the healer at Less Fear, More Flow. And today I'm joined with Carol Engler. She is an AFPA certified holistic nutritionist and a wellness coach. She's also a personal trainer and a doTERRA wellness expert. Um, Welcome and thanks for joining me today, Carol.
Thank you.
And I understand that you've been in the health and wellness industry for around 20 years now.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. And I also know from when we met and the conversation that we had, you have a house full of kids too.
Do. Well, I'm actually, my husband and I, we raised 5 children, but we're empty nesters. So we get the joy of grandbabies now. So I have 4 grandbabies and one on the way.
Oh, wow. Excellent. Very cool. First, maybe you could talk to us a little bit about how you ended up in this line of work.
Well, it was kind of a journey. My mom passed away when she was 45 years old from a massive heart attack. So my first degree was in the medical field. And what I found was people getting sicker and they were only treated reactively instead of proactively. And it really got me to wondering and really caring more about health and wellness. So over the course of the years, I got my first personal training cert and my nutrition cert, and I started my journey into wellness. Then at one point, I found my own self struggling with my health. I had asthma, I was on lots of medications, I was on I had breathing asthma machines, and I was told I had Hashimoto's. Then I was told I had the beginning stages of COPD, and I don't smoke. And then I was told, this is your life, now you need Nexium because you're on all these medications. So that's when I decided to really dive into holistic nutrition and wellness options like essential oils, herbs, natural supplements, and really get into that. So over the course of a year with doctor supervision, I got off all my meds. One doctor was scratching their head going, I don't understand this. And another doctor went, yeah, it really works. But most people would rather take a pill.
Exactly. And that's what drew us together. We are in that sisterhood of healing ourselves. And so I'm guessing that the Nexium was to counteract the toxicity that the other medications were having on your stomach.
Yes, and my throat.
So the medications you were taking were tearing up your gut.
Yes.
And so you had to take the Nexium.
Yes, but in the course of the year, got off everything, and I have not been on any of that since. And that was about 10 years ago.
Okay. Well, I applaud you and I celebrate you. As you know, I have my own personal journey with a chronic health condition that landed me on full disability for 9 years. My journey was similar to yours in that I gave the doctors 7 years to get me well, and nothing happened. So I decided to take matters into my own hands and see what I could do to facilitate my own healing. Okay, so you have so much to share with us today. I want to jump right into it. And when you and I met just a week or so ago, we talked about these synthetic scents and how they can contribute to serious illnesses such as cancer and asthma and kidney disease and autoimmune illnesses. So could you talk to us more about that, please?
Absolutely. People don't realize how many toxins they're coming in contact before they go eat their breakfast, right? And so a lot of your items, some are FDA approved, some are never approved. But a lot of these items, the FDA allows so much toxicity in different products. But when every product you're using has so much toxicity in it, we begin to reach a state of toxic burden. Then the body can't fight. And that is where disease sets in, allergens set in, skin issues set in, and all of these slow issues that develop and get worse over time develop in the body, and the person has no idea that it's toxic levels building within.
Okay, so you mentioned a couple of things there about how many synthetic fragrant toxins does a person encounter by the time they reach the breakfast table?
They can reach as many as 50 to over 300. What people don't realize is the shampoos and conditioners that they use have sulfates, and they have parabens, and they have all kinds of harmful things in them. As then you use your skin wash or your body wash, your soap, then you use your toothpaste. It has fluoride and all other kinds of hazardous things in it. Then you use your mouthwash. Then you use your skincare. And a lot of us ladies, we got multiple steps to our skincare, right? Then you use a body lotion. Then maybe you're putting on clothes that have been treated at the cleaners, and those chemicals are so toxic. Do you know that even leaving clothes in your closet that have been to the cleaners and have all those chemicals on them, they're putting off that emission of that fragrance into your closet, and you're not even realizing that you're breathing in toxins.
Yeah.
Then if you burn candles or you have Glad plugins in your home, those are emitting all kinds of carcinogens, formaldehyde, that's for dead people, not living people, that dulls the olfactory senses. And people get to a point they can't even smell the fragrances that they're trying to make their house smell beautiful with because of that.
Yeah. Yeah, so I've known about the dry cleaning chemicals for a long, long time. And oh boy, about 10 years ago, I had a friend who recovered from cancer. And, she was quite wealthy, and she had her silk pajamas dry cleaned. And I thought to myself, you're sleeping in this chemically drenched fabric every night. So, but when it comes to my friends, I tend to keep my mouth shut unless I'm asked, right? So,
people don't realize also the products that they're washing their clothes in, drying in, the fabric softeners, as your body heats up, you're just a magnet for all those chemicals that are in those products.
Yeah. Yeah. So then I'm guessing if you already have some chronic health conditions, all of these synthetic fragrances are just going to bring your immune system down even further and prevent you from getting well.
Absolutely. And, we talked about to the breakfast table. Well, then what are you putting into your body? Right? What kinds of nutrition are you adding in? So it's just kind of a whole gamut of mindset, movement, and nutrition, and what you're actually doing to support the immune system and the different systems in the body.
Yeah. So, and that is my approach as well. When I work with my clients, I teach them that healing requires a well-rounded approach. So we need to look at nutrition and exercise, and, even breathing. Chronically ill people have a tendency to have shallow breathing, as do people who are stressed or anxious. So that's why it's so important to just take that moment and take those deep cleansing breaths and get some oxygen, preferably clean oxygen, right? into your body. And then, of course, the exercise helps to move your blood through your bloodstream, which what's the word I'm looking for? It distributes your nutrition and the oxygen to your cells so that your body has a chance to heal, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So in the beginning, when we first started this conversation, you talked about FDA approved, and then you mentioned something about some fragrances are not FDA approved. Could you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, a lot of your health and wellness products, the FDA does not regulate. So you really have to be your own advocate, not only in your medical world, but also in your health and wellness world, because a lot of products, even what they're not mandated. So they can put what they want on the outside of the bottle. That doesn't mean that it matches what's on the inside of the bottle. And so really take a good look at your ingredients, really look at the company that you're talking about, look and see where their products are coming from, and take a great look at those ingredients. And if you're not sure what a word is, if you can't pronounce it, that's your first sign. It's probably illegal. But then also, look it up online. And I know one time I typed in um, preservatives and their side effects in the human body. And I was floored because I started going around the house and looking at my products, and a lot of them had these in there that were carcinogenic, hormone disruptors, causing problems in the body, inflammation, joint pain, headaches, all kinds of different issues that I didn't even have an idea or a clue about, because I think people can be too trusting. If the FDA says it's okay, well, it must be okay. Well, if it's on the shelf for purchase, it must be okay. If they say you can put it on your body or in your skin or in your tummy, it must be okay. And we need to be more diligent and be aware of exactly what we're putting into our body, and understand that we have to be our own best advocates and really take a good look at what's in the things we want to use.
I agree. I completely agree. And it's the same with your foods. If you're looking at a food label and there are things in there that you can't pronounce, it's best to put it back on the shelf.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So when I was chronically ill, I had, along with all the other things I was dealing with, I also developed multi-chemical sensitivity. And so a friend of mine would come over who was wearing perfume. And the moment I opened the door, it hit me. It smelled like a chemical. And she had dogs. And I thought, well, she must have just given her dog a flea bath, because that's what it smelled. That's what it smelled like to me. And I know that so I am also a highly sensitive individual, as an empath. And so, I did a interview with Tammy Gone. She's a coach for highly sensitive people, and we talked about this. And she talked about how she has to plug her nose to run down the aisle in the supermarket that has the cleaning products and whatnot. For me, one of the big ones for me is the Irish Spring soap. I can smell that from like a mile away. I mean, that is just so filled with fragrance. What is our addiction to these fragrances?
I think that people want to smell nice. They love some of the scents that they're smelling. But what they don't understand is when you breathe in through the olfactory nerve, you can actually get that crossed over to the blood membrane into the brain. So it's not good for the body to be breathing in all those fragrances. There's another way to get a better fragrance into your life and to have it more pure and more clean. And a lot of times as people detox and they become more and more aware of how their body is responding to the environment, they'll recognize things by getting headaches or itchy skin or hives. Body is telling them, hey, this is not good for me. I myself hold my breath walking through the mall when we pass Bath and Body Works. I can't stand it. And years ago, my husband, when we met, he didn't wear cologne and he wouldn't let me wear perfume. And it was kind of a bummer at that time. That was a long time ago. And over the years, I found that now I can wear natural fragrances like essential oils, things like that don't bother him. And we both love the smell of. Now, again, be careful with your essential oils because they're not created equal, and they too are not FDA regulated. So do your research on the company you want to use and make sure that they are really looking at quality and that they are pure and therapeutic and medical grade.
Yeah. So I use doTERRA, and I also have a few Young Living oils in the house, which I know you used to be with Young Living as well. And I received a freebie bottle from some order that I placed, and it was lavender. And boy, when I opened it, it did not compare to the doTERRA. It's like it ended up in the trash can because it didn't smell good. So I'm not sure what was in there, but I definitely didn't want it in the house. And I will admit I do have fabric softener in the laundry room, and when I walk through the laundry room, it's in a cabinet and the cabinet door is shut. I can smell that fabric softener. So, that's how sensitive some of us are. I'm guessing the rest of the population because, I think after you smell so many smells, your olfactory senses just kind of shut off. So I'm guessing the rest of the population just doesn't smell these things like we do. What's your take on that?
Well, their body is overburdened with toxicity, and when they choose to be ready, then that's when they can start a process of detoxing. And there's several ways to do that. I help people do that all the time. But it's so important to start the process of getting toxins out, and you can make small changes to begin with. One of the most powerful things you can equip yourself, it's an app called Think Dirty.
And let's say that again. Think Dirty.
Think Dirty. It's an app called Think Dirty. And you can scan your product and it will tell you on a level of 0 to 10 just how toxic the product is that you're picking up. So like the other day I was looking at Dawn dishwashing detergent, and I just scanned it just to see what Think Dirty would say. It's an 8. It's an 8 on the scale of toxicity. So
and what is the scale?
0 to 10.
Okay.
10 being the most dirty and 0 being the cleanest, right? And so this app has really helped me, because I know one time I went to buy some lipstick and I thought this was an organic brand, right? Cleaner. And when I went to I scanned it on the Think Dirty app, it too was at a level 8.
Wow.
And so just because something says green or organic,
I know,
clean, it doesn't mean that it is.
Yeah.
They can put what they want on the bottle. You have to go to the ingredient list and look, and empower yourself with an app like Think Dirty. And then if you find that the product you're wanting is really high on the toxicity level, there's a way that you can use something different. I use a lot of the doTERRA cleaning products because they're safe. You could even squirt them in your mouth and they're not going to hurt you, but yet they kill germs 99.9%.
So tell me, do you make those yourself, or does doTERRA now sell cleaning products?
doTERRA sells a whole online, it's called On Guard, and there's a whole cleaning and clean grouping of it. So they have laundry detergent, cleaning mix that you can mix. It's very economical. Hand sanitizer. Do you know that a lot of the hand sanitizers that in the United States, we have stuff in our hand sanitizer that's illegal in other countries?
Really?
We just went through a crazy time where people were using hand sanitizer left and right.
Yeah.
So we have to be aware. Just because it's for sale and says use it doesn't mean that we should. So even doTERRA carries an On Guard hand sanitizer. They have On Guard toothpaste. They have On Guard mouthwash. They have all kinds of things that you can do to support your health, to support your immune system, and to support lowering that toxicity load.
Excellent. That's some really good information. So we talked about personal products. We talked about soaps. What other categories of synthetic fragrances, should we be aware of? What else is out there?
Oh man, it's really hard, because I mean, even when you go out to eat, you don't know what they clean the surface of the table with. You don't know what they cleaned your chair with. I have walked in and seen them spraying bleach and Lysol, and let's just talk about those a second. Have you ever taken a moment to look at the back of a bleach bottle or a Lysol bottle? It will tell you wear a mask, it will tell you wear gloves, and then it will tell you must sit on the surface for a minimum of 15 minutes to really kill germs. I don't know about you, but in years past when I used those kinds of products, I never wore a mask, I never wore gloves, and I sprayed it and wiped it. Yeah. So Windex, bleach, Lysol, all of these things that are so high in level in toxins that require to be on the surface for a certain amount of time before they're even effective, and they are going into your skin when you touch them. Just like the bottom of your foot has over 2,000 pores. You can put lavender oil on the bottom of your foot, and in about 20 seconds you'll find it in your saliva. So now think about that. You clean your shower with bleach, and you step on that bleach and you step on that surface in the warm water with your bare foot. What's absorbing into your bloodstream?
Right.
So we're just not even aware of the kinds of things that we're coming in contact when you eat out. Not to mention, what are they cleaning with? What surfaces are they cooking on? How do they clean those surfaces? What oils are they using? Are they using canola and all of this yuck type stuff that's bad for the body, for your bloodstream? I mean, there's just so many. Now, it would be unrealistic to think that we're not going to eat out ever again, or that we're not going to get in touch with any toxins. But what if we could lower that toxic load by being aware and knowing alternatives to use? Then our body can combat it a lot easier.
Right. Right. So, and we've become germaphobes, and watching everybody use bleach and disinfectants during the whole coronavirus, when it's not a germ, it's a virus. So you don't need bleach to kill it. So, it was a little overkill, so to speak. Pardon the pun. So I have a statistic here that I'd like to read to our listeners, and it says that research has shown that the global perfume market was valued at 31.4 billion in 2018, and is expected to expand at about 3.9% from 2019 to 2025. Why do you suppose people are not getting the message?
Well, that's a loaded question. First of all, marketing. Second of all, think about all the marketing that we are on, whether you're on TV, you're on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook. I mean, there are so many commercials, billboards, and you're kind of taught, if you smell something beautiful, you'll be more beautiful, right? That's a fallacy of mindset. Instead of looking within and finding a natural way to be beautiful, right? And finding natural ingredients to be beautiful with, people are reaching out to that because that's all they know, that's all they've been shown. And that's one of my platforms that I'm so passionate about, is teaching people a different way to be proactive about their health instead of reactive about their health. So it's definitely a tough situation out there, because marketing convinces us that a McDonald's hamburger is the way to have lunch, right? It convinces us a lot of different things that are not good for the body, that are not healthy for the body, for your mind, your spirit, your everything.
Right. So could you give us just a few tips on how to begin that detox process?
Absolutely. Well, one, as far as your food is concerned, start looking at single ingredients. When you go to the grocery store, stick to the outside inner walls of your grocery store. Stay away from boxes and sauces that you don't make naturally yourself. Those are great ways to do that. You can take lemon essential oil. I only use doTERRA's because I trust that product. You can drink essential oil in your water. Actually, citrus oils are antioxidant. They have antioxidants in them. And lemon helps to naturally detox the body. It works at taking petrochemicals out of the body. And petrochemicals are basically plastics that you've drank internally through drinking out of plastic water bottles, eating off of plastic, and different things like that. So with that being said, when you use an essential oil in your water, you want to make sure you're using glass, stainless steel, ceramic, because they do break down chemicals and plastics. That's a great way, as well as ditch and switch. Instead of using plug-ins, instead of using candles, get you a diffuser and pick some doTERRA essential oils that you love the smell of. Right now, I'm diffusing a blend called Elevation. I love it. There's another one called Citrus Bloom. I just love the smell of them. And I get a lot of compliments when people come in my home, so that's a good news. And then there's things that you can do by switching your hair care, switching your skin care. Looking at what's in your laundry detergent. So there are definitely all kinds of natural ways that you can ditch and switch into improving the way that you clean and the way that you live day to day to lower that toxic load.
Excellent. Good information. And when you've got that diffuser going, that's also you're taking it in through your nose, and it's your body's absorbing it, so it's helping you. It doesn't just smell good, it's helping you to detox, right?
And it's improving the immune system. We get things in the body in several different ways. We get them on our skin, we breathe them in, right? And then you can ingest them, and then also they can affect emotions. So not only can essential oils affect emotions for the good, but then you've also got, when you mentioned a while ago, getting a headache from smelling these certain smells. They can really affect the health in all different kinds of ways. So we want to think about, what are we putting on our skin? What are we taking into our body? What are we smelling? And how do these affect us and make us feel? And a lot of people have lost touch with realizing how things really make them feel, even down to, are they full? Are they hungry? I always tell people, if you are craving sweets, that's telling you you need to detox, but it's also telling you, have you ever heard of HALT? Hungry, angry, lonely, tired. So I tell a lot of my clients, when we're working on nutrition and we're working on emotions and mindset and movement, that's something that I take them through. Because if they are wanting something to eat, what's the reason? Are they actually hungry? Are they lonely, tired? So we need to find out, what emotion are they feeling and how to work through that.
Yeah, because with COVID, there was the joke about the person, how were you going to come out of this thinner because you used all that extra time to work out, or 19 pounds heavier, otherwise known as the COVID-19, right? Because you were bored, and so we turned to the refrigerator too often to uh, try to satisfy emotions.
Well, I think also, yeah, definitely. I think also people created pathways to panic that they've never experienced before, because all of a sudden, especially for those of us that are extroverts, because all of a sudden they didn't have that belly to belly time to meet with people, build relationships, stay in touch, keep in touch. And it really affected a lot of people. I had very successful people coming to me going, I don't understand why I'm having these panic attacks. I love my life. I love my wife. I love my job. I love everything. There's nothing wrong, yet I'm having panic attacks. And typically that is the pathway that they created, learning to deal with a stressful time that changed the way they did everything.
Yeah. Yeah. So it all comes down to how you choose to look at it. For me, I can be extroverted when I need to be or when I want to be, but I'm also very introverted and I love my alone time. So for me, in the very beginning, just watching the world slow down for me, it was so refreshing. But anyway, I know that you're a very busy person. And so let me ask you, what else would you like to leave our listeners with today?
Oh, wow. I am so grateful to be here. Thank you for the opportunity. And I would just love to encourage people to start looking at their health and wellness and their mindset proactively. Think about how to support your body now, because your health and your wellness are a legacy to your family. Just like a business, you want to create retirement, you want to create money, you want to be successful. Well, it doesn't mean anything if your health is not there and available. So start thinking about that now while you're able to what are you going to put in that legacy for your health and wellness for your future. And not only that, but you are perpetuating this lifestyle to the next generation. Let's teach our next generation self-care and how to take care of themselves, just like they would build a retirement fund.
I absolutely love that, because we do need to leave a legacy, especially when it comes to our health. And so, uh, especially for women who have a history of breast cancer in their family, and then if you have a daughter, is that the legacy you want to leave to your daughter, or do you want to stop the cycle now and make the changes that you need to make so that you can leave a legacy of health and wellness behind you? Thank you so much for bringing that up. It's so important.
Absolutely.
That was a great nugget. Okay, so as we begin to wrap this up, where can people get more information about you?
Awesome. Well, they can go to livingwellwithcarol.com. And my doTERRA site is mydoterra.com/living well with Carol. And all day on there, there's all kinds of recipes, DIYs, all kinds of great education to help and support people with their overall wellness. On Facebook, you can find me with Living Well with Carol. I think it's got a number 1 after it. And you'll see my face on there. And I am always open and available to chat with people. I offer a health and wellness assessment to help give people a structure and a plan for the next 30 to 90 days on how to lift toxic load and to live a healthier lifestyle.
That's great. Awesome. I'm so appreciative that you were here with me today because it's important that we get this information out. I think most people know about environmental toxins, and they know about, the chemical toxins like Roundup and things like that. But I don't think that they know about the common everyday products they use, like bath soap. So thank you so much for joining me to get out this so very important information.
And don't forget, there's also natural bug sprays to repel mosquitoes. We don't need to use DEET.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, I have my doTERRA blend that I use that's highly effective. So, and it smells good too. Yeah. So again, thank you so much for joining me, and you and I will talk again very soon.
Thank you.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.